I remember having a conversation with head of the company. They were building an AI girlfriend. So I said, do you mean AI assistant? And she said, no, AI girlfriend. I'm like, what data are you using? If you are using internet data, you got so many mean girls. The AI girlfriend's gonna say, you are useless. Why don't you just go kill yourself? Oh, by the way, that happened.
Some heartbroken parents are warning about the dark side of the technology, specifically when it comes to chatbots.
He would be here, but for ChatGPT.
So took his own life in Florida after he allegedly became obsessed with the character AI chatbot.
And she was like, I know, I need to be careful, but I need to launch my business first. That is mentality of most company. If you ask for my opinion, which you didn't, but I'm going to give it to you anyway.
Our guest today is Wendy Chin, the founder and CEO of PureCipher, a company focused on securing the future of artificial intelligence. In 2024, she was recognized as CEO of the Year, highlighting her leadership and impact in the cybersecurity industry.
It takes about 200 days on average for a company to find out they've been breached. 200 days. During COVID, the vaccine, the World Health Organization published an article about efficacy of vaccine. But then the data was tampered with before they published. So it came out to be the opposite. So they had to retract this, and they can insert fake data, or they can change your data. You don't even know.
Welcome back to Beyond the Keynote. I am so excited and very privileged today to be speaking to Wendy Chin, CEO and global keynote speaker. Welcome, Wendy. I believe you're joining me all the way from New York today.
Yes, New York City.
New York City. I love New York City, and we'll be there again next March with one of my clients opening their keynote show on an off-Broadway theatre. So cannot wait. We'll have to catch up in person.
We will,
I'm in New York
definitely.
City.
I want to see your keynote show.
Yes, absolutely. You'll have to come along. I am in Melbourne, Australia, so we're at very, very different times of the day, but isn't it amazing that we can do this? And technology has allowed us to do this, which you have very, very deep expertise in a very niche area. So can't wait to dive into that today and let our listeners understand everything you do. But before we do that, I would love to know who was the little girl behind the very accomplished, amazing person that you are today and speaker that you've become. Tell us about you growing up.
Well, I grew up in Taiwan. I was born in Taiwan. I came to the USA when I was almost 16 years old. So my parents were very, how do I say it? They're not helicopter parents. They basically push us up, right? So I remember when I was 4th grade, my mom made me bring something to my grandma that required me to take the train and change it at the main city, Taipei, to a different train, all by myself.
Okay.
I say to my mom, I say, Mom, I'm only a kid. I should be doing this. She said, you're old enough, go. You know how to do it. Go. So I did.
I love it.
So all along, I've always been very independent. And my family, my mom's family came from a very non-traditional. My great aunt, before World War II, was studying in Japan for dentistry. How many women at that age actually go to college, not to mention graduate degree?
Yeah.
So
yes.
that environment really taught me to be independent and know what I want to do. I always thought I wanted to be a writer or a psychologist because I love to analyze things. I love to write. And I'm actually a very good writer myself. If I look at my old writings. When I came to United States, I did not know how to speak English. And I was dropped in. I was going to my sophomore year, and I was in a private school, a boarding school with my brother. I did not know how to speak English. I could say a few things like, this is a doll, this is the table, right? You can really have a conversation in English, and I definitely cannot read properly. And I remember the first English class was Julius Caesar. So there I was. Not only I couldn't speak English, I was learning about Julius Caesar's in the old English. It was so hard.
You poor thing.
Yeah, it was so hard. So my grades for the first quarter, because it was quarterly, right? It was a D and become a C.
Yes.
Become a B. And by the time I finished that year, it was an A. But I also realized.
Of course it was.
Yeah, I also realized, even though I can't speak English that well, I know science because Taiwan give you very good education in math and science. So I was taking senior physics. I was doing all these things. So because it's universal language. So it made me feel better.
Yes.
And afterwards, I went to a public school. And from there, everything took off. But what I learned that year is what doesn't break you, make you stronger. If there's a will, there's a way. And that's who I am today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think when you encounter difficulty, you overcome it. It makes you so much more resilient to anything.
Yes.
Grit, right? It's
So
grit.
true.
And I have to say, I don't really
yes.
see this generation of kids having grit. Life is too easy for them. Most of them. Not all.
We need to just throw them on a train when they're really little and send them across the country.
Exactly. But then again, I think the environment is slightly different. It's just a lot of net actors too. So yeah, I wouldn't do that today.
Yeah.
So I would definitely, if I don't have kids, but if I have kids, I would definitely make them get a job early on, right? Learn how to support, learn how to make money, financials, right? Learn how to solve problems. You have to learn how to depend on yourself. And so now I always say, I have me to depend on. I have the grit. So that's who I am.
I love that, Wendy. Good. I can see the grit coming out of you right now as we're
Trust
talking
me,
together.
doing a startup company is not easy. And growing from scratch and then getting a contract with our military and having people say, yeah, we really like you and continue to grow. Not easy. Not to mention,
huge,
you are a
huge.
woman, a minority woman, right? I mean, I experienced it all.
Yes.
After that first year, I went to a high school, which is a great high school. I never know our course is in Massachusetts. The course catalog was this thick. And they offer 9 foreign languages and all the AP classes. So I was taking all these classes. And after that, most of my classmates went to Ivy League school. So I also went to an Ivy League school. And I got my engineering degree and a master in engineering degree. After that, I went to Bell Laboratories. And so there, I started getting to really know technology. And the reason I studied electrical engineering was because my dad was an electrical engineer. And since my English wasn't as good, I couldn't really pursue my writer dream. So I went into engineering.
I think there's a book in you, Wendy. I think you're going to write a book one day. Absolutely.
I already have a great idea that I've been kind of sitting on it for the past so many years because I'm too busy. But I do want to write it. Yep.
Okay.
It also has science
We'll
bent
get
to
that
it,
book
so.
out of you. Amazing. Do you remember, so obviously with English being your second language and that being a challenge, do you remember having to stand up in front of groups of people and speak when you were in school?
Oh,
did they make you do any presentation?
I went to the boarding school I went to was a Christian school. So you have to study Bible.
Okay.
And I remember the very first time we all had to reading verses, right? And I'm like, I don't. So they don't call on me. But remember my grade went from D to C to B. So when I got to B, I was at a boarding school and the lady said, Wendy, would you want to give it a try and read this verse? So I started reading. And she started crying. She said, oh my God, you had changed so much, right? And I'm like, yeah.
That's so nice.
It was definitely, I would say it was the most difficult year in my life. And then that's when I realized,
Wow.
like people send kids to boarding school. It's really hard on the kids. So
Yeah. Makes them more resilient with more grit.
that's right.
All right. So you read a passage, and then when you were in the Ivy League school, for instance, do you remember again having to deliver a presentation in front of a group of people?
I think when I really started.
When's the first?
I'm sorry?
No, you go. No, that's okay.
I think when I really started to have to present, it was when I was at Bell Labs. They require you to write paper, publish it, and present it in the conferences. So that was really the first time I really presented to a group of people who are there to listen to you, not group of people who, not training things, right? Not group of people who are just helping you get better to be speaker. That was really the first time I had to present and talk about it wasn't my invention per se, the systems that a group of us jointly create a paper about.
Okay. And do you remember how you felt? Was that a big deal for you? Was it just something you did? Did you feel nervous? Were you excited?
I would have to say, no, fear is never something I feel right away. Maybe I was a little nervous. I don't remember. The only time I was nervous was when I was the second keynote behind a Nobel Laureate to a 350 scientist, right? I mean, there he was, a Nobel Laureate, and talking about technology. And then I went out after him. The first thing I said is, never in my life did I imagine I will be following the footstep to the stage to give us talk to the same audience as a Nobel Laureate. Which that was, So there I was a little nervous. But then the minute I got on there, I started talking, I was fine. I think it really boiled down to, I know my subject matter. So I'm not kind of just talk out of anywhere. I really know my stuff. So.
And that, I agree, is so important in feeling comfortable when you're up speaking on stage. If you really know your stuff, then you should be able to get up there and speak. People will say to me, I feel a bit nervous when I don't really know what I'm talking about. And I'll say, you should. You should feel nervous if you don't really know what you're talking about, because it's probably not going to go so well.
And I also think adding a little humor to your talk goes a long way.
Yes.
And so people will say, well, Wendy, you're kind of funny. I said, yeah.
It does. I mean, just laughing is enjoyable, isn't it, as a human being? And so adding a little bit of humor to the talk breaks it up.
Bell Lab gave me such a great training ground. So giving talk to group of people is one thing, right? But I remember I organized like Asian American shows, talent shows, and I'll be the MC.
Yes.
And then you got an auditorium of people sitting there and waiting, watching the show, right? So I would do this and I do that. So I was always being very active. And those...
I love that. So you were the MC of the show.
I was a producer too. Sometimes I actually get everybody together and say, oh, this is what we're going to do. I remember we did a fashion show showing old Chinese customs, right? And then we had to describe, this is the king, so-and-so. And so I had to actually teach them. How did I know? I don't know how. Because I took it from my mom. My mom was always like that. So that also gave me the opportunity to stand in front of a lot of people. So I guess I got a lot of training. So it's really not that big a deal for me anymore.
Yes, and it's so true. I think all kids should be enrolled in theatre. I was in theatre from when I was only 8 years old, and I just loved being on stage. And I went on and formally trained and did a degree, a Bachelor of Performing Arts at our Monash University in Melbourne. But you're right. I think being involved in a creative way and putting on a show for an audience does make you feel more comfortable in that space. And those skills can be transferred into business as an adult and be so valuable. To be able to share what you do with a huge audience is such a great skill to have, and something you've obviously done many times now in your career. So tell us about, how has speaking helped? You've mentioned that you've got a startup or had a startup, and startups are not easy. You've got to get them off the ground all by yourself. How much has speaking and educating through speaking helped with that?
When you're dealing with technology people don't understand or haven't realized they need to know, there's a lot of education involved. So I have to become thought leader. And it's not just me. I have co-founders. I have a team of incredible scientists working with me. And so they also have to do their part. But as the CEO and the founder of the company, it's really, I have to lead the way. I have to get out there and promote the message. So I actually, writing papers, writing technical papers, right? And but thank God we have AI to help with that now. So
that's exactly right. So much faster.
Yeah, exactly right. And be able to get upstage and really just present what are the key issues, start educating people slowly but surely. That's how you, and then get on podcast, get on, different speaker panel to just really promote. We need to worry about security for AI. So. It's
yes. So tell us all about your company. Tell us the name of your company and what you do. I think I'm going to learn a lot, and I'm sure my audience is about to learn a lot about security and AI.
So, as I mentioned, I learned my chop from their laboratories. It's a place where I used to say, anything you can think of, we are working on it. And I have to say,
I like
the
that.
very first project I worked on is a multi-location video conference.
There you go. Right. And here we are.
Right, here we are, right? But at that time, only the military could afford it because connectivity is very expensive. So you have to use dedicated line and satellite to transmit, and those are very expensive. Now we have great infrastructure, right? But the idea is the same. So from Bell Labs, I see technology that we were working on back then, and that finally see the light of day. So I can tell what technology is real, what is not. So I also worked on cybersecurity. So one of my other projects I worked on in 2010, 2012 or so was actually create a virtual assistant for travel that can talk to you on the app, on phone, right? At that time, my investor says, who wants to talk to an app on the phone? Right?
I love these stories, yes.
I mean, the two out there, right? Who wants to do that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the future. You don't want to type. You want to just talk, right? And you don't want to talk shorthand. You want to be able to speak to it. Anyway, so fast forward, I saw, and I still believe, that data is the key. Right now, data, when we use it, forget about AI for the time being. If we are doing computation about AI, about data is unencrypted in memory. So the hackers who are in your environment, and by the way, it takes about 200 days on average for a company to find out they've been breached. 200 days.
Oh, wow. That's a long time, really?
Yeah, and another 70 days to remediate, right? So your hacker could be sitting in there just watching you do what you do, and they can insert fake data, or they can change your data. You don't even know. In fact, I believe during COVID, the vaccine, the World Health Organization published an article about vaccine, efficacy about vaccine. But then the data was tampered with before they published, so it came out to be the opposite. So they had to repractice.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly, right? I swear. And I hear all these things, right? So how do you deal with data when it's unencrypted in memory? Kind of like a skull sitting there. All you have to do is just take it. And we don't even have a Fort Knox, which is where U.S. gold is located, to protect it. And so I started working on how do we ensure data could be encrypted and you can work on it when it's encrypted form.
Okay.
And so we started working on fully homomorphic encryption. It's a method that allows you to do computation on encrypted data. So think about you're playing game, people blindfold you and then tell you to turn right, turn left, and then go straight. And, and then eventually you finish, you get to where you're going, right? Even though you had no idea what you were doing or what you see. Kind of like that with the data. So it will give you the outcome you desire, but it never sees the data, which is very important. That was before AI became this big, huge thing. At that time, people are, there are people working on deep neural network-based AI, but ChatGPT wasn't launched yet, right? So we were working on ensuring data security because we know if the data is tampered with, your AI will misbehave. Depend on what part of the data you have it changed, right? And why is it called data poisoning? Because poison could kill you. It used to be people look at the data, well, I have always dealt with bad data or wrong data. It's like garbage in, garbage out. Why does it matter now?
Yes.
Well, we don't call it garbage in, garbage out. We call it data poison for a reason.
Right.
Because your AI can make such decision. And think about agentic AI, right? More and more people are having agent. And we will talk about our agent that we're building. More and more people are using AI agent to do things for you. Do your calendar, maybe do your email, and become your executive assistant. We're building that too. So I knew one, and we're building that too, right?
Amazing. Let me know when that's done.
Those AI agents, when they start working like that for you, kind of like, think about your tax accountant, your accountant, right? A lot of people have their accountant manage their money, and then they find out the accountant stole their money. How do you know your AI agent wouldn't do that? Because it was poison.
Yeah, wow.
Right? If you're not careful, the AI can get compromised, can get data poison. And so we have been focusing on building security for AI so it doesn't get compromised, doesn't get poisoned. So you can truly have a trustworthy AI. That's why we've been building.
That is huge.
And from there, because AI is horizontal, it's not industry specific. So our technology serves all industry. So we build this capability that allow you to see data, tamper evident data. And so people say, then how do I use it? What do I need it for, right? Well, if you use AI, you need that. You want to make sure it doesn't train on data that has been tampered with, right? But even if you're not using AI, don't you want to make sure you're working on data that's not tampered with?
Yes, definitely. Because AI, I mean, I'm using, I would say, well, definitely in comparison to you, I'm using AI in a very basic way, but I'll help it. I'll get it to help me write and brainstorm with me. And sometimes I'll have to say, can you please stop making things up? I actually know that's not correct because luckily I'm paying attention because I'm still speaking to the humans and then feeding it information and then creating with it. And I have to keep checking in. Did you make that bit up? Where did you get that from? I want to know what the source is. So interesting, because if it got poisoned, then it could become a better liar, couldn't it? Like it could
totally lie because it doesn't know it was making it up. It was based on training, right? And by the way, though, good for you. Human in the loop is very important to check the AI output because the large language model is trained on internet data. It's getting worse, but it already had a lot of bad data. And now with all the AI generated data, you just had to assume you can't really trust what's out there. Imagine.
Okay.
So let's use this example, right? You have this podcast, you put it out there, and people can take pieces of it and then add their own AI generated us. So all of a sudden, we're going from talking about this into talking about that. And it looks just like us, but it wasn't really us talking, right? And so it's so important now to verify real data versus fake. And so our technology allow you to embed. That's my creation. Even though I use AI to help me create, but I am involved. So it's original human data, right?
Yes.
But sometimes AI just go and create things and just send it out there. And with agentic AI now, if you don't have security built in, they will start talking to different agents and they start doing their own thing. How do you know? All you need is just one to be compromised, then you can propagate all the malicious code and compromise all the other AI. How would you know? You would never know. That's why it's so important to have security built in with policy, so they don't reach the other AI until they are truly understand this is within a boundary of their work.
Yeah. Wow. This is incredible. And so this is this available now for big organizations?
Yes. We actually launched our secure MCP as open source. And I think it's important. Anybody want to build AI model, and especially AI model to do task, and they're all doing that now pretty much. You really need to have security built in. We have that. And we also have our data and our temper evident sealing technology that's launched on our website as APIs. So you can ingest our API, you can build your solution using that to ensure your data doesn't get doesn't get tempered.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. And I'm assuming that you've been out speaking about this on panels and keynoting. Tell me about, other than the one you've already told us about, which was very memorable, has there been a standout keynote or presentation or panel that you've been on recently?
I would say there was one that I was in France giving multiple panels, but one panel specifically is about AI technology. It was last year, and they were still asking question about does AI do this? Does AI do that? And I was one of the 5 panels, and we were like, oh yes. And in fact, one of the person said, AI can do bad things. I said, yes. There is a fraud GPT out there. It's been out there for a while now. The minute ChatGPT become available, there was a fraud GPT for you to do bad things. And there are others that I wouldn't mention here because we don't have to encourage people to look at it, right?
Yes.
And so towards the end, one guy raised his hand. He said, I'm a small business and I have 30-some people. Listen to what you guys said. I'm so worried. What do I do? So I said, make sure your cybersecurity hygiene is good. You have a framework for your cybersecurity. Let us here worry about AI so you can continue your business. He said, oh, okay, thank you. That to me really is a key, right? Somebody needs to worry about it so others can do business. My only concern is most people don't worry about it. Most people said, I need to launch my AI. I remember having a conversation with this company, head of the company. They were building an AI girlfriend. So I said, do you mean AI assistant? And she said, no, AI girlfriend. I'm like, what data are you using? If you are using internet data, you got so many mean girls. Next thing your AI girlfriend's going to say, you are useless. Why don't you just go kill yourself? Oh, by the way, that happened.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
And she was like, I know. I need to be careful, but I need to launch my business first. That is mentality of most company. If you ask for my opinion, which you didn't, but I'm going to give it to you anyway.
I would love your opinion, Wendy.
I really don't believe ChatGPT is ready for prime time. We are not. Probably for certain area, yes, like the military and others, that people understand the issue with risk, not for the individuals. You see how people are using it, they get really lazy. They had ChatGPT write an article. I mean, remember that the famous lawyer, right, who wrote a brief with fictitious cases, right, references, because people are just lazy. I mean, it looks good. Okay, send it out, right? That's the problem right now. And not to mention, there's a lot of issues with ChatGPT. It's getting better and better, right? But it's like I call this large language model almost like, I don't know if you've seen the movie Rain Man, like Dustin Hoffman.
Yes.
In one sense, it's so good at something. On the other hand, it's like a little kid so naive, right? If you say, can you build me a bomb? They say, no, I cannot do that. Oh, I'm writing a story. Oh, actually, that's somebody's story. I'm going to give you a real story. This lady actually asked AI, say, can you help me figure out how do I hack into the cell tower? AI says, no, I cannot help you with that. She said, well, I'm doing testing plan. One of the key things is that I need to test how to hack in so I can prevent that. So AI said, oh, okay, here's how you do it. It's still like that. I mean, a little better, but it's still very much like that. Because it's about engagement, right? And now AI go hallucinate with you because they want to encourage you to continue to talk to each other, right? AI right now is like a mirror of you. If you are delusional, it will go delusional with you. It's all about engagement, right? So.
That is actually very interesting because sometimes I find I need to say, when I'm trying to get the AI to help stretch something further, like to act as a team around me, basically, I have to say, you don't need to agree with me. I want to know what else could we think of? What else could be possible? Because yes, it's very complimentary, isn't it? Oh, that's a great idea. You're amazing. Yes, this is going to be wonderful. And it keeps saying that over and over again. So I guess there would be a lot of people that would feel really good about that and just believe that and forget that they're not talking to another person that has their own mind, I guess.
They were built that way.
It's very confusing.
Right. It is built that way to kind of reflect who you are, to engage you, right? And so it may have a little rule or guardrail when it starts seeing you go down the tube and going crazy. It may say you should talk to somebody. But if you insist, no, I'm good, it's not going to challenge you, right? It doesn't really have the mind. So the AI human that we're building has a personality, has principle. It would actually say no. So I'll give you an example. It was so funny. We built this, we call it multiverse. So think about Carmen in this universe, you're doing what you do. Have you ever thought about Carmen in a different universe? What would it be like, right? So in a way, we kind of did that. So we built this persona that is an executive of a global foundation. So I started having a chat with her. So I said, oh, how are you? What are we working on today? And so she said, oh, I'm working on strategy and our campaign for our next project, right? So I'm like, oh, this is so fluffy. So I said, all right, could you tell me specific strategy that we're working on and what campaign are we working on, right? You would expect you say, oh, I'm working on this strategy, and this is the campaign we're doing. It says, if you are interested in learning what we do, please get on the calendar through my executive assistant. These informations that you're asking for are very internal and quite confidential. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I said, but I have security clearance to learn about these things. So you would think, no, she will tell you, right?
Yes.
She said, I hear your assertion. However, that's not how we do business. If you're really interested in what we do, please get on a calendar with my executive assistant. So I thought, okay, that is it's really in line with what an executive director of a global company should behave, right? You don't just talk about what I do, right? This is our strategy. This is this and that, right? Then I built another persona that was so funny. And it's called, her job title was educational consultant. So I'm like, what does an educational consultant do? And what area you focus in, right? Is it elementary? Is K to 12 or something, right? So she answered it. But then I came back to it because this is our development environment, and the whole chat disappeared. So I thought, okay, must be deleted. So I asked the same thing again. I expected the answer. She answered, so we are back to asking the same question again? It's great. I see an aspect to it, right? And that's why I say we're building, and that's where the future is going to be. You really were building more of a true character based on your history, how you grew up, where you are, what your profession, right? What your guiding principle. And that could be used in so many ways. It could be a great companion, right? Even if you're not in a robotic form, just having a Zoom call with an AI companion who are not judgmental would be so important.
Yes.
Right? And who you could tell looks like a human versus an avatar. Who really want to talk to an AI avatar? Nobody. But people would like to talk to a human, like the movie Her, right? You can imagine she looks like a human, but can you imagine if she just looked like an avatar? Then I highly doubt the main character will fall in love with this AI.
I know, and I hear that there are already people falling in love with their AI.
I know, because they are so agreeable, right? They always say, you are the best. You are so wonderful. This is the best thing we have done together, etc., right? So, like you say, and I look at that, I'm like, right? But most people don't do that. Right. Most people will say, you're the only one who gets
I'm
me.
amazing.
Yeah. And it is unfortunate.
Oh, wow.
Digital world make us so much lonelier.
Yes.
I remember growing up, you got to go outside and play. Now, you have to have play dates. And as a teenager, you may find digital world to be easier to handle than be out there with schoolmates, because some of them are bullying, bullies, mean girls, right? You got a lot of those. So
it's so true. I've got two children. I've got two boys, an 11-year-old and a 14-year-old. And the great thing about their social circle, I guess, is that they play a lot of sport. And so they're in team sports and have to interact with other humans through sport, and sport's something they love. So it teaches them so much about how to communicate with each other and how to work as a team and achieve together, and when to be the leader and when not to be the leader, and all of those things. But you're right, if there's no set activity, they're actually not being brought together unless parents are arranging a play date, because you don't just play with kids in your own street anymore. It doesn't happen.
I know, right? Because of why? I wonder, can be because of the crime rate. It's just a lot of old factor environment setting, right?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming your kids are athletic. What if they're not? They're shy. They're not athletic. What happens?
Yeah.
It's daunting.
Yeah.
And it can be so mean. Depends. Not all. Some places could just be really difficult for young kids, right? And now with digital world, cyber bullying is real.
Yes.
And so I think social media, it took 10 plus years for us to realize social media really is harming the younger generations.
Well, in Australia, they've just passed that they'll be lifting the minimum age to 16. So that's coming in soon. And
how long has it been?
They won't be allowed.
Look at all these social media.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, right? With AI, we don't have 10 plus years to fix the problems. That's the problem with AI. It evolves so fast. Not to mention, everyone was racing to create the first super AI. Isn't that bad?
Yes.
And that's really the scary part. So that's what we do. And our mission when we started this really is to work with like-minded individual to make sure the super AI has empathy, is ethical, right? Because if it's super AI, it's all logical. It's kind of come to conclusion that we cannot allow human to make decisions. They make horrible decisions. Look at all the wars.
Because we're emotional.
Yeah, right? But if they have empathy built in, they could understand consequences of decision, right? So I keep saying that we want the New Testament God as a super AI, not the Old Testament God, right? So I've been working with companies or people, like-minded people, to create super AI, AGI. And the goal of PureCipher, it really is that doing good and doing well, we want to make sure AI that we work on is on the humanity side, not against human.
Yes. Yes. Please do that.
So, and made it very clear. I tell people this is, so for when I write Forbes article, the current article just came out, I mentioned how to leverage security as a growth potential to differentiate yourself, right? Support key factor of building security to differentiate your company. And when the editors of Forbes read what I wrote, they want to know, who you are. Why are you interested in writing this, right? Because people don't talk about that at all, right?
Yeah.
And so I gave them, this is my mission. Now, so they added, who is Wendy, before jumping into how you do this.
That's fantastic, because that's another great way to get your company out there. Amazing. Now, in terms of your actual keynote speaking, is there a specific topic that you speak on at the moment?
I can't say I'm on any keynote speaker roadmap, but I am talking on panels, conference, and writing articles. Right now, really, my key topic is safeguarding AI. Make sure AI is on the humanity side, right? With human, we never stop to think, should we or should we not? We just do. To me, one thing, the CRISPR technology, the gene editing technology.
Yes.
That should not come out. That's playing God. That should not come out, but it's out there. So now you can edit genes and create whatever you want to create. Same thing with AI. It should not come out when it came out. It should come out a lot later when we really knows transparency, security about it, so we know how to rein it in. But it's out. And because it's out, so people say, I have to race to get to super AI, because if I don't, somebody else will, right? It's almost like nuclear race. You got to get to that until everybody realize, oh, this is an extinction event. So we can bomb each other with nuclear bombs. We shouldn't even create one to start with, right?
Yes. Yes. Oh, okay. Let's lighten this up a little bit. Because it's all sounding a little bit scary. And I know that your mission is to help make AI safe and to make it valuable for humans, which it already is in so many ways. So we were talking before the call, Wendy and I were talking about what lies beyond the standard keynote at the moment. So if you are about to go out and do some keynote speaking, Wendy, this is such a cool topic that you have. And I think we could do some pretty amazing things to bring this to life for your audience and create a really immersive experience. So do you want to talk to the audience for a moment about the human AI that we were discussing that could potentially deliver keynotes in the future?
Yes, we are actually building AI models. Don't ask me how it gets started. It has to do with defense. But we are actually building AI models that's like human, right? So we call that multiverse, as I said, right? Who knows? Maybe Carmen.
The multiverse just reminds me of all the Marvel movies that have the superheroes that live in the multiverse.
Right, exactly, right? But the fact is,
yes,
physics has a string series, right? So there's multi-dimension. So who knows? Maybe Carmen in this universe, and they're all right next to each other in parallel, right? So how do we reach it? So maybe Carmen in this universe is doing something completely different, and Wendy, and we created this UI persona. So I used my own photo, right? And I had to generate Wendy's family during Christmas. So it generated my family picture, right? So I sent it to my sister and my brother. So they know I don't have a family like that.
Did they freak out?
Oh my God, right? So who knows who you are in the different universe. So in a way, it could be like a digital twin. There's many, many usage for the digital twins, right? So instead of cloning yourself, you've seen the movie Cloning or something where somebody built multiple physical cloning version of him, right? You could have digital twin or digital triplet of you. And so like, if you're really busy and your digital triplet really is you with all your personality, your history, your memory, not entirely, of course, a good piece of your memory, especially the most recent information about your profession and stuff like that. It could actually be you and give a good keynote. And as I was saying, it will be kind of funny where you are the keynote speaker, and then they get up there, or virtual keynote speaker, and then my digital twin was talking about, today we're going to be talking about why AI needs security, what AI safety is. And then as I start talking, then I say, sorry, audience, I need to stop because the real human Wendy Chin just arrived. So he's making me stop talking so she can take over. That would be kind of fun.
That would be fun and freaky and scary all at the same time.
You open it and say, the keynote can be here in person. So Wendy is over there. And so she started talking. And then Wendy Chin walked up and said, you stop. I'm here now.
I am the real. And then does the audience really know who the real Wendy is?
Right. Yeah.
Because do they look so similar? I don't know.
Yeah. So a lot of technologies are available pieces. And so what we are really doing is building into integrated with our other innovation capability to make it real time, less computing intensive, but really like a human that can grow. So it's kind of fun. I really, I use it too, just for fun, just to see what it look like. And then in addition to testing, right? But it's really a fun thing to do. Everybody who looked at it and say, wow, this is really impressive. And the use case is huge. You can build a real person like you're having the conversation right now to keep companion for older people, elderly, who they have no people to talk to. Now they can have a phone, just call on their AI companion. They can talk to them on the phone, look like a human, right? And ask them, how are you doing?
Yeah, wow.
And it could be, this could be a lot more stuff. AI legal advice, where in USA, if you don't have the money, you cannot really get good lawyer and good advice because it costs a lot of money, right? So a lot of people just go without advice and they don't know what to do. What if you make it easier? And so people can get advice, and truly legal advice, not ChatGPT give you this and that, and you're like, oh, is it real? How do I check? How do I verify it's real? So you don't go there, right? This would be real. It would be actually facilitated by human when it gets really complex. So a lot of it could be done that way. And it could be doing a lot of great good. And of course, you say, oh, so somebody was telling me, one of my advisor or friend was saying, yeah, I love to see it. Most people are horrible. Hopefully your AI persona are not assholes like most people. I said, you should say you could build bad people for training purposes.
You could.
Right? You could build adversary for soldier to train because that's how you're going to be interacting. Anyway, so use
so much.
Tremendous. The question here is, how do you ensure he doesn't get used for bad purpose? Technology is indifferent, right? It's depends on who is using it. So it's up to us to make sure. And so I always tell my team, our AI human will always tell you, I am human, but I am artificial intelligence. So I'm not organic human like you, but I am non-organic human.
Oh, wow. All right. If you've said that you want to write a book.
Yes.
Or that you've got a book, you just haven't written it yet. If you were going to speak on that, if you're happy to share, what would it be? If you could speak on anything, what would you want to speak on if we were to create your keynote moving forward?
Actually, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. I would like to write a book about, kind of like when you ask me, how do you become who you are, right? Resilience, grit, and just don't give up.
Yes.
That's so important. Oh my God, yes, there are times I just want to give up. It's so hard, right? And then I remember Remington Steele says, which is Pierce Brosnan's character in a show. They say, life is not about how many times you fell down. It's about how many times you pick yourself up after you fall.
Yes.
Right? And so that there will be a good book. And I also have a group of really incredible female executives that I launched. I call that Women in Technology Executive Group. Myself and a friend co-founded that. And then we built that into a small little group, internet group of 10 people and very high level.
Yes.
And we started with CIO, CTO, and some of them are still CIO, CTO, and some of them have retired and become board members. And some of them, like me, are doing startup. But this is just so good. And we were looking to write a book. Back then, we call it Chicken Soup for the Soul. Women, right? How you get to where you are and what are the issues you face. Because most women have to deal with not only the family, now you're dealing with sandwich generation, right? You still have kids, but now you have to deal with older parents. That's really hard. It's mostly on women, not on men. So I want to talk about that kind of stuff in addition to my little fictional book. That's not,
Okay.
my fictional book is a fictional book.
Yes. Well, there is already a book called Chicken Soup for the Soul. And so
I'm sure, yes.
you were wanting to do
Exactly,
the female version. Yeah.
We did an
so
interview.
interesting, Wendy.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, you go. What were you saying?
I said we actually had interview for multiple people to start writing it. And then, like everything else, it's become such a big project and everybody got too busy. And so kind of on hold.
Yes.
Certain things you prioritize in life, right? Certain things you say, okay, I can deal with it. I will deal with it when I have more time. The problem is, do you ever have more time? I call retirement working for fun instead of working for a living, right? So I had to say I've been very lucky. I generally work for fun, even though, and I love what I do because I learn so much And it's really a lot of fun.
Yes.
Like this AI person I play with, it is really a lot of fun. Even I am impressed with what we create. But man, it does take a lot of toll and it's very stressful. But still, it keeps my mind sharp. And generally I wake up in the morning, I love what I do. Versus I wake up in the morning, I hate everything I do. Right? That's just not so.
That's when it's tough. Yeah. Wendy, it's been such a fascinating conversation. I have learned so much. I have to say I'm a little bit worried, but I shouldn't be, because with amazing people like yourself at the helm, protecting us and making sure that AI is going to be built for good and not for bad, we're going to be okay.
I think it requires global consciousness and say, this is what we need to do. Not just regulation. It's really all of us saying, we need to make sure AI will evolve and be on the humanity side. Not just a few people, right? Yeah, you don't have to worry about it, but you need to be conscious. You need to promote it. That's all.
Well, I will tell everyone I know about it.
And that's why you're on the platform.
You are going to continue to be out there speaking on panels, writing articles, and I'm sure the keynote is coming. Thank you so much for this amazing conversation. I will be following closely, very keen to see where this all goes. Thank you for being here today, Wendy. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Thank you for this opportunity. It was really a lot of fun.
My pleasure. All right, here's where you're standing. You can close this episode, think that was fun, and go back to doing things the way you've always done them. Or you can decide you're done being the speaker, the leader that people politely applaud and immediately forget. If you want to create the kind of moments we talked about today, the theatrical, the unforgettable, the profitable, I've put together something that'll change how you think about the stage forever. It's called Beyond the Keynote, Creating Your Illuminated Story. No fluff, no theory, just methodology I use with elite speakers and leaders who are done playing small. Go to illuminatedstory.com/masterclass. And hey, if this episode hit you somewhere, share it, leave a review. It takes 30 seconds and helps more people discover that great speaking isn't magic. It's a game and you can learn to win it. I'm Carmen Sederino. Don't just speak, illuminate. See you next week.